It's pretty rare in current day Hollywood to not only find somebody who will always stand up for the fans, but also who's interested in protecting the source material and honoring the original vision. But Henry Cavill is absolutely one of those people, which is why the past couple months have been devastating, because fans love Henry Cavill. And now not only did he make the decision to step away and leave The Witcher because the writers, the woke writers, decided they didn't want to stick to the source material, but also within the last week, we found out that he is no longer going to be playing Superman. Now, as a result of that, Henry Cavill is already partnered with a producing company. They're going to be putting something on Amazon related to Warhammer 40K. He is going to be in charge. He's going to protect the source material. But what have we seen in the aftermath of all of this? We have seen The Witcher writers trying to do damage control. The showrunner trying to come out and say, please still watch our show. We're desperate for you to still watch our show, even though no one will. Nobody's going to watch this now that Henry Cavill left. And the reason he left, again, is because of this writer's room, because the showrunner and the writers were interested in pushing their identity politics and their agenda. We even heard from a former writer who said that these people don't care about the source material. They actively mock it. Well, what do we have going on now? What do you know? A smear campaign. A smear campaign that appears to originate somewhere on the set of The Witcher. Now, what we're going to read through today is absolutely insane. And there's parts of this that you would think, why does anyone think that that's even a problem? But of course, there's other parts of this report, this alleged leak that's happening, that people are actively trying to cancel Henry Cavill. And once again, it's because he doesn't fit in modern day Hollywood. He doesn't do this identity politics bullshit. He just wants to stay true to these characters, and that pisses some people off. Now, this is coming from, this Witcher stan account, right? Witcher Netflix enthusiast, 700 followers, she, her, 23 years old. Okay, you guys know, the typical stan account weirdo. Here's a transcript of the Duxmoy, I don't know how you say this, Dumoy podcast, Henry Cavill leak. First of all, this doesn't look like a transcript at all. This looks like a Word document that is just typed up in order to try to cancel Henry Cavill. It doesn't look like a leak of any kind. But since not a lot of people had heard of this Dumoy, I decided to go check them out. Here's their website, Dumoy. Right there, you have some, celebrities with X's across their eyes or lines across their eyes. Look at even in the bottom here. Des Moines World publishes rumors and conjectures, not facts. In addition to information reported directly from sources, certain characters, situations, and events portrayed on this website are either products of the author's imagination or conjecture. Information on this website may contain inaccuracies. The proprietor does not make warranties reliable validity or correctness of the content, of the site's content, or the information sent directly from sources. So yeah, none of it's real. None of it's reliable. Yet this is what's spreading out there right now about Henry Cavill. And let's just start getting into this thing. I recently got this message and somebody was like, do you want to know what really went down? And I was like, sure. So let me just read it. It says, at the beginning of the show, Henry was good to work with. A lot of unusual demands that made people feel like he wasn't really a team player, but that's not unusual for a big star. But in TV, it's truly usually doesn't happen till the second season. But in season 2 and 3, something shifted, and he became really impossible for women to work with, which is always a big problem. But even worse here, because the showrunner is a woman, period, I guess, he would try to overrule her and try to get her to changes made last minute across the board without her knowledge, which, if you know anything about showrunning, is completely fucked. The showrunner has to sign off on every minuscule detail down to the buttons on a costume. Female writers and directors were suddenly completely ignored on set, unable to do their jobs. Every department head was complaining. He started making comments. It wasn't a sexual thing. He wasn't grabbing anyone or being lewd, but it was disrespectful and toxic all the same. Now, let's just take this first paragraph as a whole, okay? Henry Cavill was asking for them to make changes, asking for things to happen, right? I actually do believe a lot of that is true. Has nothing to do with women being on set, but the reality is a lot of women are working on The Witcher. They make that very well known. And in fact, this very female-heavy writer's room has made it a point to have a character like Geralt take a backseat, to break lore, to break canon, to break continuity in order to push identity politics and feminist agenda. That is the reality of The Witcher. That's why fans aren't going to be coming back to The Witcher. Lauren Histrich is a big part of that, and the woke writers room are also a big part of that. So it would not surprise me if Henry Cavill was trying desperately to get these people to stick to the source material, to stick to these characters and not bastardize it. But let's continue. He's deeply addicted to video games. to the point where it was like working with any other addict. He was distracted, he was late, he was obsessive, and a lot of people think the misogyny came from Gamer World. What is misogynistic about anything you've said here? What is misogynistic? Not a single thing that's even been alleged here is misogynistic. A lot of people think the misogyny came from the Gamer World. Video game bro culture is not how you talk to coworkers, and he wouldn't stop. Someone on the show compared it to watching get brainwashed by QAnon, like his whole personality shifted. Eventually, his disrespect escalated. All right, let's break down this second paragraph, okay? Henry Cavill is known as a gamer. He's been a gamer for forever. He was doing a World of Warcraft raid, I think, when he got called to be told he was Superman, okay? He's been playing video games forever, so it wouldn't be like some switch that suddenly got turned on. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Once again, the females that are writing this, that are concocting this story, that are concocting this cancellation attempt, are so fucking stupid, which is not surprising. They can't even get their story straight or make it make sense. Just yet another, like, Me Too attempt. That's really what this is. They're not necessarily alleging anything inappropriate, just misogynistic, toxic behavior. And then you don't actually say anything that's misogynistic. Let's continue. Last paragraph. He would rewrite scenes without alerting any other actors in the scenes until it was time to shoot. He decided he didn't want any romantic scenes at all. No kissing, no shirtless scenes, etc. He wanted complete control of storylines, but really had no idea the limitations of TV structure budget. He formed a weird alliance with one writer who was also a gamer, who eventually got fired after multiple HR complaints were made. And after that writer left, Henry did anything he could to hold up production and cause problems. Eventually, top brats at Netflix were tired of him costing them money with delays in HR investigations, and the showrunner was asked to construct a potential exit for him. Netflix reached out to him personally. He was given one final warning and violated that warning with an email he sent to the entire writing staff right after the meeting. That was it. This sounds so stupid and pathetic and retarded, but we shouldn't be surprised because these are woke losers, woke female activists who may or may not be involved with the show, that according to the own website that they're alleging this leak is from, it doesn't contain accurate information. It contains conjecture and things made up by the people involved. But that hasn't stopped people from trying to spread this far and wide about Henry Cavill. The same Henry Cavill who said, I don't feel comfortable right now in the dating world because people are going to try to Me Too you, because people are so hyper-focused on if you're being respectful all the time. So I go out of my way to make sure that things like that don't happen. And people tried to turn that into a big deal. But look at this piece of garbage, Claudia. TLDR, Henry Cavill got gamer red-pilled and became impossible to work with. The female showrunner for The Witcher and many female employees were treated like garbage, and it made producing the show impossible. Look at the follow-ups here. This insane lunatic freak. All you got to do is look at these bios and you got the flags, you got the pronouns, we know how it is. So when people are like, oh, he quit because the writers don't respect the lore, shut the fuck up, they love the series and he was allegedly working against them. No, that is not the case. We've seen from the beginning, where for interviews with Henry Cavill in season 2, we've heard stories from other writers who left that the writers' room are the ones who don't respect this stuff. Now, they may even be trying to allude to Bo DeMayo in this. Oh, another gamer in the writer's room. This is insane. Like, what you are alleging here, first of all, if you actually take it at face value and not look at it through some woke lunatic lens, it just looks like someone who's trying to make sure that these people are sticking to the lore. And the whole video game arc is ridiculous because, once again, Henry Cavill has been known as a gamer for forever. It's not like all of a sudden he got corrupted by Gamergate or something. Like, so insane. This stuff pisses me off because these people have been doing things like this, these cancellation attempts, spreading these false fucking narratives about people in Hollywood, in real world, everywhere for a long time. They need to be mocked. They need to be ridiculed. And that's exactly what we're doing here. That's exactly what we'll continue to do whenever we see stuff like this pop up. Considering he dates weirdly young women and had weird comments about Me Too, this does not come as a shock. This person's limited their replies, of course. Wait, I was just reminded he dated Gina Carano. This all tracks. Praying for any women who have to work with him on Warhammer. What a loser. And luckily, we have someone like Jane Theory here to set reality in place for a lot of these lunatics. This honestly wouldn't surprise me. I'm waiting for the show stars to open up about their experience. It spoke volumes when the Actors Forgetting series said nothing. Jane Theory, they have. A former writer said the writers were the problem, and an actress praised Henry's professionalism. The Witcher's Anya Chalatra confirms what we all suspected about Henry Cavill's on-set behavior. Of course, that's a spicy headline, but the reality is this. When it comes to addressing her co-star's attitude and conduct, Chalatra revealed Henry Cavill is, quote, incredibly professional, polite, brilliant, very experienced, clearly in the world of acting and being on set with a big, very experienced, being such a leader of a team with such grace. She went on to say, Cavill's professionalism also benefited their close relationship as characters, saying, it's a real privilege to play alongside him, especially with the relationship Yennefer and Geralt have, which is so animalistic and raw and sexy. He was so empathetic, and his experience just helped in every conversation we had. Summing up her experience, she said, he cares about you, and he cares about the show. Absolutely BTFO'd all of this other garbage. We also have someone saying, basically what makes sense, that, okay, I'd be willing to listen to this, but I'm ready and willing to believe this, except what's the accusation? There's no details. He made unusual demands, like no details. He started making comments, like no details. He rewrote scenes, which ones? He held up production, how? Every department head was complaining about what? There is nothing here. Henry Cavill is somebody that woke Hollywood does not like. Henry Cavill is someone that woke activists do not like because he's willing to fight for the lore. He's willing to fight against these lunatics that are trying to push their agenda and their identity politics at each and every turn. This is so cringe, and it's clearly just an attempt to do some damage control. If it is actually from people at The Witcher, it's an attempt to do damage control in a way that doesn't even make sense. There's been a lot of backlash for Witcher, and rightfully so. These people drove Henry Cavill away because they disrespected the source material and they disrespected the fans. Now, Henry Cavill's not Geralt. He's not Superman. He's going to do his own Warhammer 40K universe. He is going to control it. And these people are still going to come after him. These freaks with pronouns in their bios who can't decide what gender they are. These woke activists are so mad that they're going to lose again. That Henry Cavill doesn't need these fucking woke people. He will do it himself. Let me know what you think about this entire situation. This is laughably stupid that this Gamergate, he was corrupted by Gamergate or whatever they're trying to insinuate. Ridiculous. Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.